Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. Malacanang said that the wearing of face shields is no longer required outdoors, saying that the government's pandemic task force only appealed that it be required indoors. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque made a statement as the public awaits President Duterte's decision on the appeal of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases on his decision to only require face shields in hospitals despite the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. In his press briefing on Monday, June 21, Roque said that the government's policy on face shields will be discussed in the President's weekly public address. However, he clarified that face shields were no longer required outdoors. Roque said that those outside their homes should not be apprehended if they were not wearing a face shield. On Thursday last week, Malacanang confirmed that President Duterte preferred that people only be required to wear face shields in hospitals. However, the IATF was opposed to easing the rules on wearing face shields, especially indoors.
So yung mga nagtatanong, kailangan pa ba ang face shield? Ang malinaw po ganito ha, hindi na po kinakailangan ng face shield sa labas kasi hindi naman po inapila yan ng IATF. Ang inapila lang ng IATF yung pagsuot ng face shield sa loob, kasama na po sa mga malls at iba pang mga commercial establishments at saka sa mga pampublikong transportasyon.
The Department of Health on Monday, June 21, reported the detection of 4 additional Delta, the B16172 variant cases, 14 Alpha B117 variant cases, 21 Beta B1351 variant cases, and 1 Theta P3 variant case. Citing the latest whole genome sequencing report, the Health Department said 3 of the 4 additional Delta variant cases are returning overseas Filipinos from the MV Eastern Hope, a ship currently docked in South Korea. The 4th case, the DOH said, is a returning overseas Filipino who arrived from Saudi Arabia on May 24, 2021. As to the additional 14 Alpha variant cases detected, the DOH said 12 are local cases while 2 are being verified as to whether these are local or returning overseas Filipino cases. The DOH said of the additional 21 Beta variant cases detected, 20 are local cases, while 1 case is being verified as to whether this is a local or a returning overseas Filipino case. It added that based on the case line list, 20 cases have been tagged as recovered and 1 case is currently active. It said the additional Theta variant case is currently being verified as to whether this is a local case or not. DOH added that the case has already been tagged as recovered. The DOH, the University of the Philippines, Philippine Genome Center, and the University of the Philippines National Institute of Health meantime assured the public that biosurveillance activities for the detection of COVID-19 variants shall continue amidst the increase in cases in Visayas and Mindanao. Octa research called for the strict enforcement of international travel protocols to prevent the transmission of the Delta variant of coronavirus disease in the country. Octa research fellow Dr. Guido David noted that the more transmissible Delta variant, which was first identified in India, could pose a huge threat to the Philippines as it may lead to another surge in cases. David noted that COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila continue to go down due to the implementation of strict quarantine restrictions since March. He said the vaccination rollout has also contributed to the lower number of new cases. Fair weather and isolated rain showers will be experienced over most parts of the country, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA. Weather specialist Meno Mendoza said the southwest monsoon or habagat affecting Luzon will affect parts of the island and the Visayas. Region 4A or Mimaropa, Zambales, Bataan, and Western Visayas will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms due to the southwest monsoon. Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon will have fair weather with rain showers that may last for a short period. In Metro Manila, the temperature may reach 33 degrees Celsius. The rest of the Visayas will have fair weather with isolated rain showers. Mindanao, on the other hand, will experience fair and humid weather. Rain showers are also expected due to localized thunderstorms, Mendoza said. In Metro News, Quezon City government warns public versus scammers. San Antonio becomes the first barangay in Pasig City to get DILG's safety seal. And a Manila resident offers free coffee and cupcakes on Father's Day. More from this report.
The Quezon City government has warned the public against those who are reportedly using the local government's name to extort money. There are some individuals are identifying themselves to be government officials through calls, texts, and emails. The local government said that the mayor's office or any other department of the city are never engaged in such activity. Residents who will encounter it may report to the local government's helpline 122 or helpdesk at quezoncity.gov.ph. The local government also said that they will not hesitate to hold liable those who will be caught scamming the public. After fully complying with the government's mandated health and safety protocols against COVID-19, Barangay San Antonio became the first barangay in Pasig City to receive a safety seal from the Department of Interior and Local Government. The Safety Seal program of DILG grants establishments a safety seal to be displayed, indicating that the building or establishment that they are entering is compliant with health protocols against COVID-19. Raymond Leasing, chairman of the barangay, said the safety seal will give his constituents peace of mind when they visit the barangay hall to do their transactions. A resident in Manila set up a community pantry offering coffee, tea, and variety of pastries in celebration of Father's Day. Loleng, who is part of the Sangguniang Kabataan, baked the pastries of different flavors himself, accompanied with witty signages that caught the attention of the residents. He also advised those who will visit the community pantry to bring their own plates, wear face masks and face shield, and observe social distancing. Loleng hoped that he brought joy to every father who visited his pantry.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Leyte Prison launches e-dalaw for inmates. 5 million pesos worth of smuggled cigarettes seized off Zamboanga City. And ex-boxing champ falls in drug bust. Let's check out the details.
The Leyte Regional Prison in Abuyog, Southern Leyte has launched its e-dalaw system to allow persons deprived of liberty to talk to their loved ones online or through telephone calls. The project aims to provide moral support and give hope to PDLs by contacting their immediate family to alleviate hardships and loneliness they suffer. The system is in consonance with the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for Treatment of Prisoners, which provides that the PDL shall be allowed under necessary supervision to communicate with their loved ones. Combined police and Bureau of Customs operatives have intercepted a shipment of more than 5 million pesos worth of smuggled cigarettes and arrested 7 persons in Zamboanga City. Authorities, while on patrol, chanced upon a Jungkook type of watercraft marked as MJ Al-Hafiz and manned by a 7-man crew and loaded with some 145 master cases of undocumented cigarettes worth 5,075,000 pesos. The confiscated smuggled cigarettes consisted of 40 Champion Black, 15 Fort White, 30 Delta White, 10 Astro Red, and 50 of 8 Red. The items were turned over to the BOC. Police arrested last Saturday former two-time Philippine champion Eden Sonsona during a drug bust operation conducted by police operatives in Barangay Apopong, General Santos City. Authorities seized several grams of shabu from Sonsona, who is also a former regional champion. Sonsona was crowned WBF International Super Featherweight in 2017 and WBC International Silver Super Featherweight in 2015. Prior to that, he captured the Philippine Super Flyweight and Bantamweight belts. Police are set to file charges for selling and using prohibited drugs against the suspect.
In world news, China administers more than 1 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses. Israel to allow Gaza limited export of farm produce. And U.S. marks slavery's end on new Juneteenth national holiday. Details in this report.
More than 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines had been administered in China by Saturday as the country pushes ahead with the largest vaccination drive in the history of New China. Since late March, China has been accelerating the pace of free COVID-19 vaccinations for the whole nation. It took the country just 5 days to hit its most recent 100 million dose increase, according to daily updates by the National Health Commission. The large-scale vaccination campaign carried out across China has shown that Chinese COVID-19 vaccines are safe, noting that the incidence rate of common side effects and abnormal reactions caused by the vaccines were both below the average figures, according to NHC's deputy head Zhong Yi-sin. At least 70% of the target population in China is expected to be vaccinated against COVID-19 by the end of this year. Israel will allow the limited export of farm produce from Gaza 1 month after a ceasefire with the enclave's Hamas rulers to end an 11-day conflict. Extra restrictions since intense violence last month has meant Gaza's farmers have been unable to export goods as usual, create a glut of produce such as tomatoes and strawberries, causing prices to tumble. Limited export of agricultural produce from Gaza Strip will begin Monday, said Kogat in a statement, the Israeli military body that administers civilian affairs in Palestinian territories. With marches, music, and speeches, Americans on Saturday celebrated Juneteenth, the newly declared national holiday that marks the end of slavery and which comes a year after George Floyd's murder sparked anti-racism protests. Hundreds of events were planned across the country from New York to Los Angeles and most notably in Galveston, Texas, the symbolic heart of the Juneteenth commemoration. This year's Juneteenth celebration are all the more celebratory, coming just days after President Joe Biden signed legislation making June 19 as national holiday, and at a time when pandemic-imposed restrictions on public gathering are steadily being eased. Meanwhile, a 6-foot statue of George Floyd, the black man killed by the white police in Minneapolis in May 2020, is unveiled in Brooklyn as part of the Juneteenth celebration in New York.
In entertainment, K-pop superstar BTS's Pinoy fans proved once again that they are more than just fans, but a community with a heart. Let's watch this report.
Filipino fans of K-pop superstars BTS have done it again. Over the weekend, BTS armies in the Philippines donated the popular BTS meal of McDonald's to the homeless, gave a donation to a Food Panda rider, and even provided vegetables to families in the province of Albay. YouTuber Toby Vlogs, who is also a Grab rider, shared that 2 BTS armies sent him money so he can enjoy the meal and share it with others. He then paid it forward by sharing the BTS meals with homeless individuals around town. Meanwhile, Food Panda rider Benjamin Baetiong received a generous donation of 45,000 pesos from BTS armies for his kindness. Baetiong posted on Facebook his excitement to deliver the BTS meal that received so much appreciation from the BTS armies. On June 20, he received the donation and thanked the BTS armies for their help. The BTS armies also banded together and donated 1.1 tons of crops to Kamalig and Tiwi in Albay. The project originated as a donation drive effort to help in the rehabilitation of houses and livelihood of families in Albay by giving away roofs as well as vegetables.
In sports, Gilas Pilipinas made history as they make a back-to-back win against South Korea in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. This while the South Korea team impressed netizens despite their loss. Details in this report.
Gilas Pilipinas got a bit of help from Lady Luck down the stretch to score a rare repeat victory over South Korea and complete a 6-game sweep of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers at the Angeles University Foundation Sports and Cultural Center in Pampanga. Justin Baltazar scored an uncontested dunk with 31.7 seconds left to give the Philippines a lead after being in the right place at the right time when South Korea appeared to have forced a turnover during a scramble for the ball. The back-to-back win over South Korea is something the Philippines has not done since winning the 1985 ABC Championship, the country's last continental championship. Gilas finished the continental qualifiers by topping Group A and momentum going into its campaigns in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Belgrade, Serbia. Meanwhile, the South Korea team received praise on social media for cleaning its locker room despite suffering a second straight defeat to Gilas Pilipinas. In a photo tweeted by Aldo Tong, it showed a very tidy locker room in a kind gesture that was a stark contrast to their battles with the host nation during the final window of the continental qualifiers.
Mabuhay Gilas Pilipinas. And those are the news on web today, June 21, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow, or you can log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. Well, this has been MB Now. Be fully informed.